As card makers, we love to give and spread joy. And I also love to give little treats with creative tags on them. Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com, and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So today we're going to make some fun treats to give to the adults or kids in your life.
So we could make treat tags with the different supplies that we have in our collection, and that's great. I've seen a lot of people share tutorials on that, but I like to make the tags for treats like this really quick and simple, because a lot of times these are not something that people are going to like hold on to for very long. They might be, but these are usually something that like, oh, how cute, pulled off, and then the treat is enjoyed. So I try to keep it simple. With that in mind, I wanted to create some tags that were specifically kind of designed for crafters. So I have these Halloween treat labels available at the Jess Crafts Etsy shop, and there's always a link, any coupon code in the video description. And I created them as PDFs and as JPEG files. So if you don't want the size that I created here, you can make them bigger or smaller to suit your needs by copying them into a Word document, or you can just print out the PDF and keep it super simple. So there are 6 on each page, and I did a color version, a black and white version so that you could color it, as many crafters enjoy doing, or a blank version so that you could stamp on it and do all kinds of additional techniques, and we're going to talk about those today. And you can actually do some extra techniques on these tags as well, but if you want to have a little bit more freedom or a little bit more interest, there is the blank version. So let's take a look at some different things that we could do with these. You don't have to be very crafty to use these, of course. That is part of the reason that I created the colored version. So I made these ones. When I put them into my Word document, I told them to put the image size at 2 inches, and because there's a little bit of a border around them, it's slightly smaller than 2 inches, and therefore I can come in with my 2-inch hole punch and easily just punch out tags. And this is great for like when you know, if you're just like giving it to a classroom of kiddos and you know they're not too concerned, but you want like maybe your little treat table to look cute, so you want to put this over them. I did find these Kit Kat Witch's Brew, because when I thought about Witch's Brew, I was like, oh, you know, of course you could do like teas and coffees, like some fall flavors, but this looks really cute on top of these, and since they have that Witch's Brew theme, it kind of makes sense. You can have that little witch poking out. So that's one way that I would use the tags. Then you can use the blank ones in a variety of ways, because that's giving you like the most freedom. And so you can do it super simple. I have these felt stickers from the Dollar Tree that I just added to them. And this is again something where you could involve the younger people who might be giving these with you into the task. Or we can make it a little bit more complicated. I'm never going to want to do anything too time consuming, as I mentioned, because you know, a lot of times these are things that aren't kept for very long. They're often, even if like I've given gifts, like little treats like this, to my colleagues for years. I love to do that, and they will often actually take the little tag and display it somewhere like in their room because they really enjoy it. And especially if I know somebody is really into those kind of things, I will maybe take a little bit more time with theirs or with all of them, because I know that group of people I'm giving it to do appreciate them a bit more. So here I'm going to do something super, super simple and take a stencil and just ink it up. You could also do some solid stamping. I'm going to make it slowly fade out to the edges, and then I can ink right over the sentiment as well. And you could also print these on like colored cardstock to add a little bit of interest to them. Print them on patterned paper, like, you know, simple pattern paper. You could layer something behind them, so like take a scallop die and cut them out. Now I did cut some of these with dies. You can of course hand cut this circle. You can do the punch like I showed you. So many options, but it's just in the spirit of doing something that is fun but quick to spread some joy at Halloween, because Halloween, as you know, is my favorite holiday. And it's my favorite holiday because it's just about like doing fun things for others. It's about like surprising them with treats. And I know there's people who don't celebrate the holiday for like a whole variety of reasons. And I totally get that, but for me, that's what it represents. It represents fun and, you know, surprising others and just like, you know, simple stuff like that. As I mentioned, you know, we have all kinds of supplies in our collections that can probably do similar things, and I hope this is still giving you inspiration for that if you don't want to pick up these tags or if you're thinking for another holiday or something like that. But I just want to kind of emphasize the like ideas for how to share joy, and I like digital products for this kind of thing though sometimes, because even if I have a stamp set that has a like sentiment like this, where, you know, it can kind of work for one of these like fun treat tag sort of things, they do come in just one size. And with the digital file, with the JPEG, you can resize it to whatever you want, and you can print many, many of them at the same time. So it really speeds up the process, and therefore I hope it is still helpful to some of you who want a kind of like quicker alternative. I'm just blending out a circle here in the center. This is not, because this is the paper that goes best through my printer, it's not necessarily also the paper that's best for ink blending, so that's why I kind of prefer doing it with a stencil. I think I can get a softer blend. All right, let's talk about some things that you could pair with these tags, because I always like to make sure that my treats are, you know, inexpensive too, so I could pass out a bunch of these, because, you know, like I said, I used to give these to my colleagues, so like I would be giving them to the 40 plus, I think it was more like 50, 60 people who taught at my school. And so I would want something where like I could just buy like a couple of bags of candy or a couple boxes of tea, coffee, like the little pods of coffee, because we did have one of those pod coffee makers at school, something like that. So, and also if you don't particularly like celebrate Halloween and you've gotten this far in this video, congratulations. But, and I appreciate that you watched, but there is the pumpkin tonic specifically, and that doesn't actually have any reference to Halloween on it, I guess, except for the tonic thing, but I don't think that that's specifically for Halloween. And so you could pair that with like pumpkin spice tea, and that'd be pretty generic. But I also am going to have a pack that instead of just saying like a Halloween treat, it's going to say a fall treat, and it's going to be seasonal. So it'll say like when you purchase the pack, you would get fall, spring, summer, winter, and so you could have those generic ones or like so. I found some teas. I thought these were really particularly fun because there's a bunch of different ones within here, so you could kind of style it to the person you were giving or to the like saying that you chose. So I thought like the blood orange would be fun for the witch's brew, but then there's a pumpkin in here somewhere. Yeah, so the pumpkin spice tea for the pumpkin tonic. And I like to have a good mix of adult and kid appropriate things. Although other thing that I found, candy corn is a really good one too, because it's like pretty low allergy. There's not usually a lot of things that people are bothered by in them. So you can get these, like, you can get them in cute little containers and things like that. So that's another thing that I picked. Specifically, there's the candy corn drop sentiment as well. And I found these, which I just think were great for kids because they're a little on the healthier side. It's applesauce. So if you don't want to be giving candy, but you do want something for kids, I found these apple pumpkin spice squeezies, and they also have apple, just plain applesauce for the less adventurous kiddos, and you could still pair it with whatever, you know, like maybe just the Halloween treat sentiment instead. And then again, with the Halloween treat, like pairing with like those little bags of pretzels and all that kind of fun stuff. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with the share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links and a coupon. See you in the next video. Bye!